going on, NFL world, NFL fam, NFL gang? Back here with another video, man. It's going to be every Wednesday. I'm going to hit y'all with every division, every game, let y'all know exactly what happened and keep y'all up to date on the NFL. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on the NFL in general. Let's talk about it, man. So you see where we at, man. We in the AFC West, y'all. So we got the LA Chargers, Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, and the Denver Broncos. So we're gonna talk about these teams. We're gonna talk about these games, see what happened, see why it happened, what went right, what went wrong, and we already know. We talked about it earlier because we were able to go ahead and cover the Steelers game. This is it. This is basically what happened here. So we're gonna go ahead and share that with y'all. Let y'all see the stats again. Remember what we doing. There we go. So here it is, man. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Basically, long story short, Justin Fields is taking his job from Russell Wilson. Doesn't look like he's trying to give it back. Unless Justin Fields goes on a ridiculous losing streak, I do not see Russell Wilson taking his job back at all. Period, point blank. It is what it is. Justin Herbert was out there hobbled, trying to play on a high ankle sprain. Did not necessarily pan out for him. You take a look at the stats, 107 passing, 232 passing. So he doubled your output by himself. And that was a total of 2 quarterbacks. And he did it with a little bit more throwing than y'all. So y'all completed 14 passes. He completed 11 more at 25. So tells you definitely was a difference there. You see the run game, 61 versus 114. Definitely a big old gap. 149 in the passing versus 245 in this game. You got Calvin Austin leading them for 4 for 95 and a touchdown. You've got Quentin Johnston leading the Chargers, 2 for 44, 1 touchdown. So these are just some of the things that you've already seen. Patrick Queen out there balling, 8 tackles. Cam Hayward gets a sack. Landon Robert gets a sack. Nick Herbig gets a sack. T.J. Watt, of course, gets a sack. 5 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss, 1 pass defense. Flip to the other side. Take a look at the Chargers. 2 sacks, 8 tackles for a loss, 4 passes defense. And those 2 sacks came from Derwin James and the Mac Daddy himself, Khalil Mack. You had that 1 interception from Bud Dupree, but it doesn't look like they did much of nothing with it. When you take a look at the scoring quarter by quarter, the Chargers showed up in the first half and disappeared in the second. And the Steelers showed up from the second quarter all the way through the end of the game. And these are the things that happens. You look at the standings right now. You take a look at what's going on for the AFC North. We already covered them, 3-0, 1-2, 1-2, 0-3. And then if you want to take a look at the standings here, just for the AFC West, Chiefs are at 3-0, Chargers at 2-1, Raiders at 1-2, Denver at 1-2. So taking a look at that, seeing exactly what's going on, you already know how this works. That's basically the case of it. So these are the things that happen, man. Justin Herbert went out there, tried to play on a bad ankle, and the Steelers defense showed up, showed out, took care of it, made sure they did what they had to do, and they got what they needed to get out of the squad. So we'll go back and we'll take a look at the next game for the AFC West. Here we go. Broncos come in and pick up a win. They beat the brakes off of the Bucs. What is this? This is definitely not something I expected. So when you take a look at the scoring by quarter, the Broncos showed up in the first half, 14 in the first, 6 in the second, nothing in the third, 6 in the fourth. And looks like Tampa Bay only showed up in the second quarter because the rest of it, they didn't want to score. They didn't try to score. Maybe they were trying, but they just kept failing. Denver's defense actually showed the fuck up, and as you can see, 1-2, 2-1. These things happen. So, Bo Nix, 25-36, 216 yards. No TDs, no interceptions, didn't take a sack. I mean, you got to remember, Bo Nix is a rookie, so you kind of got to take what you can get from him. So you can't be too mad at that. Then you go ahead, you look at the rushing. Tyler Batty. Okay. Tyler Batty, 9 carries, 70 yards, 7.8 yards per carry. That's damn good. That tells me that the run defense for The Bucks had a long damn day. Bo Nix, 9 carries, 47 yards, TD. Okay, I ain't mad at him. Jaleel McLaughlin, he had 5 carries for 7 yards, but he still scored a touchdown, and that's all that really matters. Sometimes it's not always about the yardage, it's about scoring. And if you can get close proximity and you can score, why the hell should you care about anything else? Cortland Sutton, 7 carries, 7 catches, 68 yards. LaJordan Humphrey, 6 catches, 37 yards. Josh Reynolds, 2 for 36. Javonte Williams, 2 for 29. Lil Jordan, I done told y'all people about these damn names. This don't make no fucking sense. Lil Jordan Humphrey. Lil Jordan. We got to do better, people. We got to do better. This ain't going to make no damn sense. Javonte Williams, he had a fumble. He lost it. So you look over at Denver's defense. Alex Singleton, my bad. My dyslexia kicks in every now and then. 10 tackles. Jaquan McMillan, he had 9. Brandon Jones had 6. Riley Moss had 6. PJ Locke had 5. Cody Barton had 4. These are all no-name people, by the way. I don't know who the fuck any of these dudes are. Looks like Dondre Tillman, he had three tackles. 2 of them were sacks. Jonathan Cooper, 3 tackles. 1 of them was a sack. Zach Allen, who I really wish we could have gotten Zach Allen. I wanted him this offseason because I already knew what the fuck was going down. And Zach Allen is definitely the TD. What's going on, baby? So I'm covering these things, man, and I'm going to try to do it every single Wednesday. I'm just going to cover the NFL as a whole. I'm going to probably have to do them a little later in the day versus today. But if you ever want to join me, TD, I'd love to get your take on these things. I'll probably be doing them a little bit later in the day. I know you're on the East Coast, so hit me up on the side. Let me know what's going on. Yeah, but when you take a look at it, Zach Allen, once again, he had his sack. And then you come in, and right after that, you got Nick Benito. He had a sack. Jonathan Franklin Myers had a sack. Devin Key they had 7 sacks and 5 tackles for a loss, along with 3 passes defense. Flat out insane. So Brandon Jones, he got himself an interception. He ran with that for 37 yards. We gonna flip over to the other side of the ball, talk about old Baker. So a lot of people were talking about Baker. You know, Baker's been the guy over there at Tampa Bay ever since Tom Brady left. They thought it was going to be the kid out of Florida. I can't remember his name, but he wasn't able to beat him out. Baker's been doing his thing. So Baker, 25-33, 163 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. That man was sacked 7 times. Good Lord, that offensive line had a hell of a day because they was getting their ass whooped. Then you go ahead and take a look at the rushing. Bucky Irving, don't even know who the hell that is. He had 9 carries for 70 yards, 7.8 yards per carry. And Rashad White only had 6 carries for 17 yards. That's bad. We got some dude named Bucky Irving that we don't know anything about getting 70 yards, averaging 7.8 yards a catch, but the guy that's supposed to be the starter is averaging 2.8. There is a problem there, people. So no touchdowns from the rushing offense. Chris Godwin, 6 for 53, 1 TD. Mike Evans, only 2 for 17 on 3 targets. What? This ain't this. Yeah, this tells me what happened. Cade Otton, 7 for 47. Rashad White, 5 for 18. Like, this tells me what happened. Whenever you see Chris Godwin and Mike Evans below 100 yards, you know that was a bad game. So we're taking a look at that. Cade Otton lost the phone. What's cracking with you, man? Yes, sir, man. I'm just trying to make sure I'm covering all of the NFL, trying to expand this channel, trying to grow it. If this channel gets to where I want it to be, believe you me, you will not see Deion working for anybody's corporate America. I'll be working for my damn self. Just trying to push it. Probably going to look for a videographer or someone to edit these videos. Kind of throw some stank on it, make it look good, change up some things. I'll see what we can do. So we got Jamal Dean, 13 tackles, Christian Eisen, 8, Levante David, 8, KJ Britt, 6, Jordan Whitehead, 6. So as you can see, no sacks, only 2 tackles for a loss, 5 passes defense. Just an overall game that just looked out of sorts for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Denver Broncos, by the way, look great. They beat breaks off of them, man. So you can't be too mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Just coming in, doing their thing, 14 in the first, 6 in the second, nothing in the third, and 6 in the fourth. You got to love every second of it if you are a Bronco fan. That worked out very well for you. You know what I'm saying? Got you your first dub of the season, first dub for Sean McVay of the season as well. So we're going to move on, man. We've already covered the Chargers. We already covered the Broncos. Now we got to talk about the Raiders or the Chiefs, whichever one I find first. So it is. It is the Raiders. And the Raiders went ahead and played the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers have made a change at quarterback. And no more Bryce Young. R.I.P. R.I.N.P. That's it. Nothing else we can do. Bryce Young is cooked. He was not the guy. Obviously, C.J. Stroud was and is. And I feel so bad that that's happening to him. But it is what it is, man. They went ahead and took the red rifle and put him back in there and said, you know what? We're going to figure this out. We're going to make it work. You know what I'm saying? We are going to put the red rifle back out there and see what he can do for us. So, Carolina Panthers beat the Las Vegas Raiders 36-22. Panthers scored in every single quarter. The Raiders decided to score 7 in the first, nothing in the second and the third, and then show up in the fourth quarter and try to score some points to make it look not as bad. So basically, when you take a look at this and you want to look at the stats, Andy Dalton, 26-37, 319 yards, 8.6 yards per catch, 8.6 yards per throw, 3 TDs, no interception. He was sacked twice, but I mean, hell, that's still a good stat line. Then you go over to the rushing. Chuba Hubbard, 21 for 114, 5.4 yards per carry. Miles Sanders, 7 for 17. He got 1 touchdown. Go down to the receiving. Deontay Johnson, 8 catches, 122 yards. 15.3 yards per catch with a TD. Chuba Hubbard, 555, 1 TD. The rest of the stuff, you know, Xavier Leggett, 2 for 42. Adam Thielen, 3 for 40. And I believe Adam Thielen wound up getting hurt in that game, so he is out. Or he was supposed to not play, but he did play. 1 of the 2. But basically, you come in, you look at it. Michael Jackson, ow, 9 tackles. Shaq Thompson, 6. Nick Scott, 6 tackles. Josie Jewell, 5 for 5 tackles. LeBron Ray. These names, once again, I told y'all these names. You couldn't just name them Brian. You had to put a "la" in front of it. You're not unique, people. Stop with these damn names. Stop thinking you fresh putting a "la" or a "lil" or just stop. Okay, just stop. And don't tell me that you're naming somebody after somebody's grandpappy or none of that bullshit, because these names are getting out of pocket. Love Brian. I had a Lil Jordan. Like, come on, people. Every name sounds like a Key and Peele skit. I'm sorry. So LeBron got a sack. Jaden Peavy had a sack. Jadeveon Clowney had a sack. So that's 3 sacks. 7 passes defense. Not too bad for them. Flip over to the other side. You look at the Raiders. Gardner Minshew, a.k.a. Minshew Mania. Minshew Mania, 214 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. He was sacked twice, 18-28. Aiden O'Connell, 9 of 12, 82 yards, one touchdown, and 1 sack. So a combined 276 yards, 27 out of 40, 2 TDs, and 1 interception. Zamir White, 10 for 34, trash. Gardner Minshew, 3 for 14, trash. It just 55 yards to 131. Come on, people. Come on. So, Trey Tucker, 7 catches, 96 yards, TD. Jacoby Myers, 7 catches, 62 yards, TD. Brock Bowers, 3 for 41. Devontae Adams, 4 for 40. Alexander Madison, 3 for 37. So on and so forth. No fumbles by either team defensively. The Raiders came away with their 2 sacks. You had 1 by Robert Spillane, and you had half a sack by Christian Williams and Charles Snowden. And then you had Marcus Epps with 10 tackles, Jack Jones, Luke Masterson with 7, Trayvon Morig with 6, Nate Hobbs with 5. You wind up having about 5 passes defense, and that's from a variety of different players. I mean, people are getting their hands up. That's pretty good. A couple of returns by Amir, just 1 return by Amir Abdullah, 1 return by Leggett. Same thing with the punts. You know, this new kicking system kind of screws everything up to an extent. It puts you in a little bit of a bind there. So you don't get a lot of returns, but then when you do, sometimes you have the opportunity to get a really big one. So basically, when it comes down to it, you look at this game, it's very ugly, man. 36-22. The Panthers finally get their first win. At least they got their first win early in the season, because last season they were just getting breaks beat off of them left and right. You started to feel bad for them. You wanted to see them do a little bit more. You wanted to, hopefully let them get a couple of wins, but it didn't work out. So we're going to move on to the final team in the AFC West, and then we'll jump over to the NFC. This game is 22-17. It was versus the Falcons. Kansas City didn't show up in the first, didn't show up in the fourth, but they showed up in the second and the third quarter. Atlanta showed up in every quarter except for the third. Close game, 22-17. Falcons seem to be playing, a little bit tougher than usual. Didn't want to go down without a fight. When you look at the passing, Patrick Mahomes, 26-39, 217 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception, was not sacked at all. Go to the rushing, Cameron Steele, 17-72. Samaje Perine, 6 for 25. Mahomes himself, 6 for 17. Xavier Worthy, I'm not sure what happened to Isaiah Pacheco. I believe he's injured, quite possibly, because other than that, you would have seen him on there. Rasheen Rice, 12 for 110 in the TD. Travis Kelce only 4 for 30. Travis Kelce, the best tight end in the league. Yeesh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 2 for 17. So everybody else, you basically at the end of the day, this was not a very large passing day for Patrick Mahomes, and the only person that fucking mattered was Rasheen Rice. Then you go ahead, no fumbles by the Kansas City Chiefs. Then you go ahead and take a look at the defensive side of the ball. You've got monster Vikings winning the Super Bowl. Skull Travis is not the best tight end. I don't believe he is. I honestly believe the best tight end in the game is George Kittle, because he's the best all-around tight end and he can do everything. But thank you, Monster, for stopping in, hanging out, coming in, taking a look at these things. And, hey, man, look, I got to give y'all a little bit of a round of applause, give y'all a skull clap, because y'all skull clapped our ass in week 2. Y'all beat bricks off of the Niners. We can't seem to beat y'all in Minnesota, man. I love George Kittle. I think he's the best tight end, but right now, hey, man, Sam Darnold is rolling with you. Let's just hope that he can keep that up for you guys. And hopefully, if 49ers get their shit together, we might see y'all in the playoffs again. So basically, once again, back to this game, you look up, you have Felix, he had a sack. Mike Pennell Jr. had a sack. And that was it. So Chiefs had two sacks, 8 tackles for a loss, and 5 passes defense. Flip over to the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins. He's a 49ers and Vikings Super Bowl. Well, I mean, you can't have that. A 49ers and Vikings NFC Championship game you can have, but you can't have Super Bowl. We're in the same division. Not going to work. But Kirk Cousins, 20-29, 230 yards, 7.9 yards per throw, 1 TD, 1 interception. He was sacked twice. Tyler Algier, 7 for 32. Bijan Robinson, 16 carries for 31 yards. That's pathetic. That means that this run defense for the Kansas City Chiefs is stout, and they were giving up nada. Because you got 128 rushing in total for Kansas City at 82 for the Atlanta Falcons. And then when you look at the passing, we only have 5 people here: Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and Ray McLeod. The guy that caught every target was Darnell Mooney, 8 catches, 66 yards. Drake London, 6 catches, 67 yards, and 1 TD. Everybody else, you had these were all looks like chunk plays, 259, but his biggest play was 50-yarder. So basically, numbers are inflated. He really didn't do much of anything. Just had that one bomb. 2 for 27 with 2 for 21, 17 yards there. So you see what's going on there. Kirk Cousins fumbled twice. That's not good at all. I know Monster. I know you're happy to see him out of your hair, and gone with him not doing anything. All those years you paid him, and that motherfucker wasn't giving up shit. So Troy Anderson, 12 tackles. D. Alford, 10 tackles. Caden Ellis, 7. Jesse Bates and Mike Hughes both had 6. So on and so forth. You didn't get any sacks out of them. You only got 2 TFLs in the pass defense. So that just tells you right there, man. This was a bit of a hard-fought game. Atlanta couldn't get their run game going at all. looks like they couldn't really get their pass game going because it was just only 5 people that he passed the ball to. And then if you look at the numbers, they're inflated because of big chunk plays. That's what was happening. So still a close game. Falcons only lost by 5, but that put the Chiefs at 3-0, and that puts them atop the division for the AFC West. So currently AFC West, once again, 3-0, 2-1 for the Chargers, 1-2 for the Raiders and the Broncos. So as going to be the recap for the AFC West. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with your boy. We'll be back in the NFC. Peace.